Thanksgiving or taste bud torture? That's what my sister-in-law said at the dinner table. My husband? He laughed. I looked at both of them, untied my apron, and said, "Awesome, I quit. Tip your new chef." They thought I was joking. I wasn't. Let me take you back to that Thanksgiving night. Sierra's voice still cuts through my memory like glass. We should just order takeout next time. At least it'll be edible. I had just pulled a second turkey out of the oven. My feet were screaming. My back was throbbing. I hadn't sat down all day. Sweat soaked through my shirt. The only thing I'd eaten since breakfast was a corner piece of cornbread I grabbed while plating. And then she says, "That. And Trevor, my husband?" Laughs. Not a big laugh. Just a snort. But that was enough. It wasn't just about the food. It was about respect. About how nobody valued what I did. How they all showed up expecting to be served, expecting perfection, and couldn't even pretend to be grateful. So, yeah, I stood up, took off my apron, set it down. Next time, you can all pay for takeout too, because I'm done. Then I walked away. You know what they did? They laughed. Trevor didn't follow me, didn't even call my name. I poured myself a glass of red wine in the kitchen and leaned against the counter. No one came to check on me. No one helped with dishes. They just kept eating. Sierra cracked another joke I couldn't hear. Someone turned on the football game. I was invisible. That was the moment something inside me broke. That night, I didn't say another word. When the last car pulled out of the driveway, I didn't confront Trevor. I just got in bed and turned my back to him. He didn't apologize. The next morning, I didn't clean up. He walked into the kitchen, saw the disaster, and said, "Are we doing leftovers for lunch?" I looked at him. "I'm not touching a single dish. Eat what you want." Then I got dressed and left the house. I drove to the park, sat in my car, and just breathed. For the first time in forever, I let myself feel the anger, the way I'd been treated, not just that day, but for years. Every time Sierra rolled her eyes, every time Trevor's mom criticized me, every time Trevor ignored it, I decided right there, I was done pretending. Here's what they didn't understand. I wasn't just the person who cooked. I ran the holidays. Every family gathering for the past 5 years had my name written all over it. I booked the cabins, organized rental cars, created the menus, bought matching pajamas, coordinated Secret Santa. I made the holidays work. They just showed up. So I opened my email and started canceling. First, the Christmas cabin in Asheville. Gone. Second, the beach house on Anna Maria Island for New Year's. Canceled. Third, the Easter brunch reservation at that fancy place in Sarasota. I called and told them to give our table away. Every cancellation hit like a domino. One by one, the plans unraveled. They didn't find out right away. Sierra texted me a week later, "Hey, can you resend the address for the cabin? Trying to plan our drive." I replied, "No cabin. Canceled it. I'm not planning anything anymore. Feel free to make your own arrangements." She didn't respond. 3 hours later, Trevor came home from work. "Why is Sierra freaking out about Christmas?" I said. "Because she assumed I'd still do everything even after the way she treated me." He sat on the couch and rubbed his face like I was the problem. "I mean, you could have at least told people." I stared at him. "You mean the same way you stood up for me when your sister insulted me at the dinner table?" He didn't answer. December 24th rolled around. Normally by then, our tree would be up. The guest room would be ready. We'd be baking cookies for Santa with Sierra's kids. This time, nothing. No decorations, no lights. Just the quiet hum of the dishwasher and the awkward silence between Trevor and me. He asked half-heartedly if we were still doing gifts with his family. I said, "Nope. I didn't draw any names this year. They can figure it out on their own." Christmas Day came and went. Trevor's mom tried to host something last minute, but no one volunteered to help cook. The food was a disaster. Frozen lasagna, a sad bowl of salad, store-bought cookies in a plastic tray. I saw it all on Facebook. No photos of stockings, no matching outfits, just blurry pictures of people who looked tired and confused. Sierra posted one photo of her kids eating pizza. The caption, "Not the same without our usual holiday magic." Damn right it wasn't. After the train wreck of a Christmas, I thought maybe they'd get it. Maybe someone would call me. Maybe Trevor would sit me down and finally ask how I felt. He didn't. Not once. He acted like the canceled plans just happened. Like it was an accident. Like I was being too emotional. One night in mid-January, I asked him point blank while we were brushing our teeth, "Do you even care that your family disrespected me? That you laughed with them when they mocked my cooking?" He didn't even look up from the mirror. He spit, wiped his mouth, said, "It was a joke. You're taking it too seriously." Right then I knew. I was alone in my marriage. That stung deeper than anything Sierra ever said. I stopped showing up for things. Sierra's youngest had a birthday party in February. I didn't go. Trevor went, came back with a slice of cake on a paper plate. They asked where you were. I told them you were still mad. I looked him dead in the eye. "No, I'm not mad. I'm finished." And I meant it. Mid-March, Sierra's oldest daughter, Laya, texted me. "Aunt Eden, are you mad at us? I miss the stuff we used to do." That cracked me a bit. She was 15. She'd helped me peel sweet potatoes last year. She always said thank you, always hugged me. I didn't blame her, so I responded, "I'm not mad at you, sweetie. Just taking a step back from adults who treated me badly." She didn't reply, but 2 hours later, Sierra texted me just one line. "Don't drag my kid into this." I took a deep breath and replied, "Then maybe teach your kid how to treat people better than you do." She didn't answer, but she did post some vague status online about people making drama out of nothing and ruining traditions. Of course she did. April rolled in, close to our anniversary, 10 years. We always did something nice, usually a weekend in Savannah or a fancy dinner downtown. This year, I said nothing. I waited to see what he would do. Trevor came home the night before with a grocery store bouquet and a bottle of wine. "Happy anniversary," he said, handing them to me like I was a coworker. No card, no reservation, no plans. I stared at the flowers. "This is what 10 years means to you?" He shrugged. "We've had a rough few months. I didn't think you'd be up for anything. You didn't ask." He rolled his eyes. "You've been cold since Thanksgiving. You act like I cheated or something." And there it was. "No," I said. "You didn't cheat, but you showed me how little I mattered to you. That's worse." He scoffed, tossed the wine on the table. "Jesus, Eden, it was one joke. You've turned it into a war." "No," I said. "The war started when I realized no one would fight for me." The next week, his mom called. "Sweetheart, it's been long enough, don't you think? We all say things we don't mean during holidays." "She meant it," I said. "She's always meant it. That was just the first time you all said it out loud." She sighed. "We're planning a summer barbecue. Why don't you and Trevor come? Clean slate." I paused. "Only if Sierra apologizes." Long silence. "Let's not make this about pride." I hung up. It's funny how people treat you when they assume you'll always stay, that you'll swallow the insults, do the work, take the jokes, smile for the camera, but when you stop, when you really stop, they fall apart. By May, the group chat Trevor's family used was practically dead. It used to ping all the time, photos of birthday cakes, updates on who's bringing what, memes about chaotic Thanksgivings. That group chat had my fingerprints all over it. I was the one who'd started it years ago. I named it the Last Name Circus. Everyone laughed. Now it was just Sierra posting half-hearted questions like, "So anyone want to host July 4th? No one replied. 2 days later. "We could do it at our place, but not if I'm the only one cooking again." Still nothing. Finally, Trevor's cousin Rowan wrote back, "Honestly, not up for anything this year, just not the same vibe." I took a screenshot and saved it. One Saturday in early June, I went to the grocery store and ran into Sierra. No warning, I turned into the baking aisle and there she was, grabbing a bag of sugar. She looked up, froze, then gave me this fake smile like nothing had happened. "Hey, stranger." I just nodded, tried to push my cart past. "You know," she said, blocking the aisle with her cart, "the family really misses you, especially Mom. She says it's not the same without your touch." I said nothing. I wasn't playing her game. Then she tilted her head and said something that almost made me laugh. "But I guess we all got tired of walking on eggshells." I looked her dead in the face. "You weren't walking on eggshells. You were throwing them." She blinked. I could see it shook her. "Whatever," she muttered, moving her cart. I let her walk off, but my hands were shaking. Not from fear, from rage that she could gaslight me in a baking aisle like she hadn't started the whole mess. That night, I told Trevor what happened, not because I expected him to care, but because I wanted to see his reaction. He sighed like he was exhausted. God, are we still on this? That was it. No defense, no shock, no care. I asked, do you even know what I gave up for your family? Every holiday, every plan, every tradition we had existed because I built it. And when they mocked me, you laughed. You didn't defend me. You didn't even check on me. He looked annoyed, like I was bothering him. So what now? He said. You going to hold this over everyone's head forever? No, I said. I'm going to hold it over mine and decide how much more of this I want to carry. July came. My birthday fell on a Saturday. I didn't expect a parade, but I thought maybe Trevor would plan something quiet, something just for us. Instead, I woke up to a text from his mother. Happy birthday. Hope Trevor treats you well today. I laughed out loud. Because Trevor? He forgot. Nothing was planned. He said he'd take me out later. When I asked if he made a reservation, he shrugged. You're picky. Figured you'd want to pick the place. That night, I took myself out. Alone. I drove to a restaurant I used to love before all this mess made me lose my appetite. I ordered a glass of wine and 2 courses, sat on the patio, watched families laugh. When the waiter asked if I was celebrating anything, I said, yeah, the day I stopped doing things for people who never appreciated me. I went home, packed a suitcase, and slept in the guest room. The next morning, I told Trevor I was going to stay with my sister for a while. He barely looked up from his phone. If that's what you want. I moved in with my sister the next day. Her guest room was small, but it had something my house with Trevor didn't. Peace. No tension in the walls, no cold looks over morning coffee. Just me, my suitcase, and my decision. At first, Trevor didn't take it seriously. He thought I needed to cool off. A few days passed, then a week, then 3. I didn't call. I didn't text. He sent me one message. You've made your point. Can we talk now? I didn't answer. Instead, I started making a list of what was mine, of what I'd built, of what I was no longer willing to tolerate. By mid-August, I filed for divorce. Trevor was shocked. He called me over and over, left voicemails saying, I didn't mean for it to get this far. Can't we go to counseling or something? Too late. I'd been in counseling by myself for 6 months. He never noticed. After I filed, his family exploded, not at me, at each other. His mother called me one night, in tears, actual tears, said she missed me, said things weren't the same. I stayed calm. When your daughter insulted me in front of everyone and you said nothing, that's when things changed. And when Trevor laughed, that's when they ended. She begged me to reconsider. I told her, you should have taught your children that kindness matters. This is what happens when you don't. She didn't call again. Here's the part I didn't plan. But it was satisfying. In October, Sierra hosted a last-minute Halloween gathering. She posted photos, store-bought candy, cheap decor, plastic tablecloths. 3 people showed up, Milo, the cousin, and one of her kids' friends. No one helped clean up. No one brought anything. She posted on Facebook the next day. Remember to appreciate the people who put effort into making things special. You'll miss them when they're gone. I didn't comment, but my sister and I had a good laugh about it. The divorce dragged on. He stalled, said he was reconsidering everything, tried to delay signing. In December, he showed up at my sister's door holding a box. Inside were cards, photos, pieces of our life. You can't just erase us, he said. We had good years. I nodded. We did, but I didn't erase us. You did. One snort at that table told me exactly where I stood. He looked broken. But I didn't feel sorry. I felt relief. I told him I'd see him in court. Thanksgiving came around again. This time I stayed home, lit a candle, made myself a plate just for me. The stuffing, the cranberry orange sauce, one small turkey breast. I sat at the table alone, but it was quiet, peaceful, no snide comments, no eye rolls. And when I took the first bite, I smiled, because it was damn good, and I didn't care who else agreed. Trevor lost more than a wife. After the divorce, his family blamed him. Sierra kept her distance. Their group chat died for good. No more big family dinners, no more matching pajamas, no more traditions. They didn't laugh anymore. And me? I rebuilt. Slowly, I reconnected with old friends, found a part-time job at a local bakery, started dating again, nothing serious yet, but enough to remember how it feels to be seen. Was I perfect? No. I should have spoken up earlier. Should have set boundaries years before. I waited too long. I let people walk on me because I thought that was what good wives did. Good daughters-in-law, good hosts. But I learned. And the next time I host a dinner, it'll be for people who bring more than just an appetite. They'll bring respect.